Hey guys, Jackdaw here. Following on from the book release of Tevinter Night, I've taken up the bold task of dissecting everything noteworthy that relates to Solas throughout all of these 15 stories in this spectacular novel. And believe me when I say we have so much to talk about. This is not going to be a short video, so get yourself comfortable and brew yourself some hot tea or iced tea if for some reason you prefer it that way. I've recently broke down the Dreadwolf Take You as I felt this short story deserved its very own uncovering. However, today I'm delving even deeper into Tevinter Night, investigating everything that will relate to the future of Dragon Age regarding our most powerful adversary. Before we do though, I must preface that Tevinter Night is an excellent book, and if you haven't already read it, you should pick it up and come back to this video later on. The book truly deserves your attention, and I would hate to be the one to spoil it for you. I do have timestamps for the following Solas related topics if you would like to skip to one at any point. Links are also in the description. With that said, folks, let's put on our tinfoil hats and delve into everything Tevinter Night tells us about Solas. We'll start by exploring what we found out about Solas's agents and allies. Since Trespasser, we've known that Solas has a network of agents working for him behind the curtains. However, in the Dreadwolf Take You, we discover the lengths of Solas's spies has greatly increased. Many of the Dalish elves truly believe in Solas's cause and have joined his fight, and even the ancient elves have been acquired for his schemes. The ancient elves decorate themselves in fine sentinel armor, appear barefaced with no valisline. Some of them have Dalish accents like Abelas, while others sound more Ferelden like Solas. They are very much ferocious and hostile to anyone who will get in the way of Solas's plans, and they even use verbiage like the Dreadwolf guide your soul to peace, brother. So what's their mission? Well, the Elven Gods' expanded network of agents are chasing down every single source until they find the Red Lyrium Idol. The idol is somewhat required for Solas's plan of action to bring down the Veil, and it's unknown what will happen once he acquires it. In half up front, we witness an agent of Fen'Harel in the flesh. She is an elf who pretended to be a wealthy human taking control of one of Solas's schemes. She declared that she acted freely for the Dreadwolf to bring back what was once theirs and what must be theirs again. Her plan was to trick and frame an Altus thief into stealing a very different, powerful and dangerous artifact that was integral to Fen'Harel's plans. This agent of Fen'Harel was seen wearing an unknown symbol that relates to the Dreadwolf. Solas seems to have built a dress code for his spies. Upon inspection, we now have somewhat of a way to distinguish Solas's spies if they ever decide to wear this symbol. Irian, the elven companion in half up front, calls Solas's agents cultists, exclaiming their genocidal plan and that they once tried to recruit her at one point, showing that not all elves are sympathetic to Solas's plan, but behind the scenes, many of the Dalish are secretly recruited for his scheme. And this is once more emphasized when the main character, the Altus thief, heard rumors that dozens of elves have gone off to heed the call of some god. The artifact that Solas's agents were looking for was supposed to be a piece of the Black City, called Dumat's Folly. However, the artifact that was discovered in half up front was revealed to be ingenuine, not the real Dumat's Folly. Now, the ingenuine device still had power. It would allow a mage to draw magic into the object, store it, and when it became full, it turned into a bomb which was used to destroy the Qunari Ben-Hassrath's new Darvarad. The agent of Fen'Harel, acting on behalf of Solas, tried to create and manipulate a calamity feud between the Qunari Ben-Hassrath and Tevinter kinsmen. If each party had discovered that an Altus thief attacked Qunari land using this bomb, it would cause immediate chaos for all of Thedas, not just Tevinter and the Qun. Fortunately, this wasn't the case, and when the agent of Fen'Harel was found out, she had taken a suicide pill and died immediately before further interrogation. And the same happened when the Qunari Ben-Hassrath captured another agent of Fen'Harel. Suicide is the only way out when an agent of Fen'Harel is held captive, the perfect means of keeping Solas's scheme as secret as possible. On top of Solas's agents, he has acquired a spirit/demon army under the guises of the Dread Wolf, and they serve him not bound to his will, but because they want to. In fact, Solas has decreed that if anyone binds a spirit to their own will or uses blood magic, then your life is his. And we'll touch upon on this hugely in the next topic. But not only does Solas have highly strategic agents working in the field for him, but he's acquired spirits and demons in the Fade unbound, unlike anything we've ever seen before. I think the juiciest potatoes we have on Solas's allies is that while Solas is focused on destroying the Veil, his agents are very much creating havoc for the rest of Thedas, trying to start wars by setting up certain groups, taking over any location where the Red Lyrium Idol was rumoured to be, and immediately killing themselves if ever taken captive. Not to mention avidly recruiting throughout the elven groups and the hordes of spirits and demons that will appease his will. Solas's network of agents is even more expansive. The elves are slippery, manipulative and smart, while the demons are brutal and terrifying. They will for sure make for some worthy adversaries when we come across them in the next game. Moving forward in our investigations, since we talked about Solas's allies, let's delve into the rivals of Solas that became apparent throughout Tevinter Nights. The factions that may be on our new protagonist's side of the battle come Dragon Age 4. We'll start with the Qunari. Since Trespasser, the Ben-Hassrath have followed suit to Solas's plans, and now they know the most about Solas's movements across Thedas according to Charter. This means they are a huge rival against the Dread Wolf, as they continually disturb and intrude on the plans Solas has. We have discovered throughout Tevinter Nights that the Qunari are currently divided. The Antam are invading the south, forcing countries under the Qun's government, whereas the Ben-Hassrath are fully focused on Solas's efforts and stopping him. Gat, one of the quote leaders of the Ben-Hassrath, shared that the Ben-Hassrath are currently a neutral party in Thedas' war effort, even as their brethren Antam invade Tevinter and Antiva. Whereas the Ben-Hassrath are on the case with tracking down Fen'Harel, the Antam pursue invading. However, the Antam still are very much interested in chasing after Solas. Of course, he is still a threat. Ingenitivi dies in the end, an Antam female shares their interest in discovering Solas's true name. They believe that with Solas's true name, they could exploit his weaknesses and defeat him. So, the Qunari as an entity are very much hostile towards Solas. That's a given. But as we'd expect, Solas has made himself aware of the Qunari threat regarding their current invasion. In the Dreadwolf Take-You, disguised as a bard, Solas stated that the Antam will crush and capitalize over everything east of Orantium and northern Antiva as well. So Solas is very much aware of the Qunari forces and their hostile intentions, which makes them a worthy ally for our next protagonist without a doubt. The question is, will they play nice? We'll move on to the next rivals of Fen'Harel, the Mortalatasi and Tevinter. I've bundled these two factions together because they've both been targeted by Solas particularly for the same reason. As I mentioned before, Solas has decreed that if anyone binds a spirit to their own will or uses blood magic, then your life is his. When the Mortalatasi bind spirits in the Grand Necropolis, and when Tevinter mages use blood magic, according to the Mortalatasi mage in the Dreadwolf Take-You, this undoes the work that Solas has planned for the Fade, and the ritual that has been set in motion. Therefore, he has made himself clear to both groups that this magic will not be tolerated anymore. From what we can understand, perhaps both types of this magic are what we need more of to attempt to stop Solas's ritual in the Fade, meaning that Tevinter and Navarra are going to be worthwhile allies. So having either of them on our side could force the victory we seek against Solas. Whereas Navarra's Mortalatasi have been outlawed as a whole by the Dreadwolf, all of Tevinter's lands used to belong to the Elven. Solas's plan will bring a redemption of the elves, restoring which was once theirs. Henceforth, Tevinter's territory is theirs for the taking. If anything, the people of Tevinter are the ones who are in the most danger unless they join the fight against the Dread Wolf, so that's their incentive to help our next protagonist. Not to mention, the Tevinter Sicarii are the Imperium's best network of spies, strong and formidable. Surely they too would make for worthwhile allies in the Imperium. Moving on, one of the most enigmatic rivals of Solas that was pointed out in Tevinter Nights are the Exequators. Although we still don't know much else about them, we gain an understanding that they mutually seek a demise to Solas and his plan. What's most interesting about this shady organisation is that before the Exequators Executor in the Dreadwolf Take-You could speak and share their knowledge on Solas's movements or what they knew about Solas. In disguise, Solas silenced the Executor and killed them when the group were arguing. Out of every agent in that room being part of a major faction of Thedas, Solas only killed that Executor. So clearly he sees them as a threat to his plan. Either they know something that can rival him or equal his power, or some other intriguing factor that Solas finds intimidating. So there's something very mysterious going on with the Executors. Now ironically, Solas goes on to say that the Executors are dangerous and that Charter should proceed with caution when dealing with them. So again, there's definitely something more to the Executors that Solas truly fears or sees as a threat. In my opinion, this makes the Executors the most crucial ally to be had in defeating the Dread Wolf. If they even want to ally and work with us, that's going to be a good question going forward. But there's certainly something going on with them that is a major red flag for Solas. Following on from the Executors, let's shuffle to the last but certainly not least rival that awaits Solas based on Tevinter Night, and that is of course the Inquisition, or what's left of it. Since Trespasser, we know that no matter what the Inquisitor chose, in the end, remnants of the Inquisition still remain to pursue and catch any scent of Solas. This small group of spies has been specifically tailored towards the plot of Dragon Age 4. This explains why in the Dreadwolf Take-You, Charter is taking the charge, seeing to all matters that concern the Dread Wolf. Hence, she's gathered all of Thedas' best spies to delegate the Wolf's ongoing plan. The Inquisition is still heavily involved in chasing after Solas, even if the Inquisitor isn't present at the moment. And judging Charter's actions, we know that the Inquisition are sharing and gathering as much knowledge on Solas as possible with other factions in Thedas, connecting bridges and making allies for the war to come. Charter mentions Veya, Sir Aaron, and other Inquisition agents that are behind the scenes in the comic books working to find the idol, showing that their network of spies has only grown and continues to grow. Veya and Sir Aaron were also mentioned in the story Herald Had the Plan, in which Veya spoke on working with a renowned Lord of Fortune and her journey to Tevinter, as we know, working on behalf of the Inquisition. And at the end of the Dreadwolf Take-You, Charter nods to the fact that the Inquisition still runs on the motive of what the Inquisitor decided they'd do with Solas in Trespasser, whether that be to attempt to redeem Solas or stop Solas. The remnants continue on in the name of our Inquisitor. Ingenitivi dies in the end, the remnants of the Inquisition send 3 writers on an expedition in the north of the Silent Plains to find the history of the Elven Pantheon. They uncover ancient tomes in an Elven library beneath the Imperium, sending their research to generals of the Inquisition. Their findings are sent to Theroycrafting, once more proving that the Inquisition is not dead and will still have a huge incentive in Dragon Age 4. Finally, in Luck in the Garden, Dorian and Merveris Talani are making waves in Tevinter, located in Mamrathis. They both helped severely in defeating an evil ancient monster in the sewers of the city. Dorian even managed to hire employed servants instead of having slaves, so he's certainly doing well and endorses the Inquisition. With that, I can confidently say it's been made very clear throughout Tevinter Night that there's still plenty of Inquisition involvement going forward. I still hope that we can witness the Inquisitor in the flesh one day, but we'll hopefully see soon enough. It is awesome to see how many factions truly oppose the Dreadwolf going forward. It's going to be a matter of, can we actually build enough influence and diffuse enough situations to have many of these factions work together to defeat an ultimate evil? Like, can we even side with the Executors? We don't know anything about them. We don't even know what they look like. Are they going to be an option in Dragon Age 4? I'm certainly optimistic. With that, we've touched upon Solas's allies, and then those who would not see him succeed, his enemies, who will hopefully be our next protagonist's allies. Let's now look at what Tevinter Night showed us about the character of Solas and how he's changed since the last time we saw him. Straight off the bat, Solas can now kill people while they sleep, even dwarves. We discovered in Trespasser that he can freeze multiple people at the same time, but now we know he can freeze executors, whatever they are, and even golems, who are already stone. So that's just terrific. Now Solas lies a lot in his fake bard tale. It's hard to tell what's true and what is not, and that's a bit of a conundrum for me. I personally believe that the bard's tale spun by Solas was a complete ruse, a lie, a fib, with only a few aspects of the truth that I'll touch upon. The table was booked under the name Gaucher, which is an Orlesian name, the fake name that Solas had taken for his disguise. I think it's safe to say that Solas is desperate going forward. I mean, come on, he's dressed as an Orlesian bard with a blonde wig, jewelry, rings, the whole shebang, and he's mimicking an Orlesian accent. I suppose desperate times call for desperate measures. Anyhow, under his ruse, he did share a few aspects of the truth, like I said. He talked about witnessing prominent faces throughout all of the Dragon Age games, like Isabella, Amund the Avar, Sebastian, Talis the Divine, and a most intriguing Warden Commander. Whether he met them or not, it doesn't matter. I feel that all Solas is doing here is proving to Charter that he knows about significant characters in the Dragon Age, that he's made himself aware of each of them as potential threats. This could mean that not many key characters will be returning as companions or even cameos in the next game, because as we know, the Inquisition is looking for people that Solas doesn't know, so that we can have somewhat of a chance at defeating him. And thanks to Charter, Solas now knows about the comic book agents who are looking for the idol in Tevinter, which now puts them at huge risk. Fortunately, none of them were mentioned by name. When Solas finally reveals himself, out of disguise, he's seen to be tired and sad, and he knows that many oppose him and that they are not fools. He also shared that telling the Inquisitor what he intended to do in Trespasser was actually a moment of weakness on his behalf. He wanted to wish the Inquisitor some peace in their final years, but in hindsight realised that was the wrong thing to do because of course the Inquisitor would intend on stopping that plan. And Solas' final statement to Charter was that he admits that he is prideful, hot-headed and foolish, and to tell the Inquisitor once more that he is sorry, once more proving that Solas is a very sympathetic character and he's just doing what he must for the people of the elves. Changing the pace from the revelations of the Dreadwolf Take You, in the short story Callback, a regret demon finishes the 8th fresco panel in Skyhold's Rotunda. The demon was attracted to and born from the regret Solas had while staying at Skyhold with the Inquisition. Originally, the 8th panel was only drafted out by Solas before he left Skyhold. The initial impression of the fresco was that it showed the mighty battle against Corypheus and the victory of the Inquisition. However, what the regret demon reveals is something far more ominous. It appears the fresco shows an outline of a beast stood over a stabbed dragon. Two figures painted on either side of a pane of glass with confused forms. The beast is shown to be a horrifying wolf, having absorbed the dragon's power, stood crooked over all. Now this is a huge find. This of course relates directly to Solas having taken Mafal's power at the end of Inquisition and rising as the Dreadwolf thanks to Mafal's sacrifice. This fresco explains the entire end credit scene and why Solas needed to absorb Mafal's essence in the first place. Solas needed Mafal in order to rise as the Dreadwolf. But just before Solas took her power, Mafal did place a piece of herself into an Illuvian for safekeeping, so perhaps she isn't truly gone. Regardless, Liz explains how the Dreadwolf has risen since Inquisition's events. Solas is now truly a haunting and terrible creature in his Dreadwolf form, and thanks to Mafal's sacrifice, he can truly go on with his plan to rise and destroy the Veil. All he needs is the Red Lyrium Idol. Now in his Dreadwolf form, Solas can speak quite frighteningly. A lingering question I have is, does Solas's mouth actually move as he articulates as this Dreadwolf, or is it more like his voice is a presence, like Mono in Princess Mononoke? It's just a thought, like, are we going to have an animated wolf speaking to us whenever we witness Solas as the Dreadwolf, or is he just going to be angry and then we're going to hear his dreaded voice like a presence? Anyway, getting ahead of myself, the Dreadwolf has taken residence in the Fade, where spirits and demons serve him willingly. The Fade is his home. As we know, Solas is a dreamer. He can enter the Fade whenever he wants. But the Dreadwolf, now that beast actually lives in the Fade, lurks in the Fade, and does everything in the Fade. And he has a ritual for the Fade that has been set in motion. However, he requires the Red Lyrium Idol to continue this ritual further. According to the Mortalitasi, surpluses of lyrium is in order for his ritual to work. The red stuff, the blue stuff, we don't know. Just that Solas will be needing lyrium for his ritual to work. Now, the Red Lyrium Idol, finally touching upon this big MacGuffin that has been the Dreadwolf Rises teaser trailer and just every tidbit on Dragon Age 4 we have going forward. It's becoming pretty eponymous of this next game, and it's still quite the mystery today. However, we do learn a few things about this idol in the Dreadwolf TQ that may help us understand it more. Now, what is it showing? The biggest question of them all. The idol is described as so many things throughout this short story. A couple hugging, too thin to be dwarves, glowing softly like a lit ruby. It's heavier than you'd think, even for lyrium. When hefted, it seems like it wants to keep moving, like it's got liquid inside, seems to show two lovers or a god mourning her sacrifice. It whispers in the minds of mages, and it's even made dwarves run off and go mad. It has a crowned figure who comforted the other. People hear music around it, and Solas strokes it and says something to it in Elven when he finds it. Its effects can also be negated by protective ruins and double shielded chests. Now, as a quick tinfoil out there, I still fully believe that this shows Mafal. Me and Saria have believed that since we took down the entire Dreadwolf teaser trailer, and it still seems like it's going in that direction to be Mafal, to showcase Mafal's sacrifice, perhaps even the sacrifice that allows Solas to rise as the Dread Wolf. Again, so much tinfoil, so many theories, so little time. Most people, like you and me, believed that this Red Lyrium Idol was forged into Meredith's sword, and so when Meredith went crazy with power and almost destroyed all of Kirkwall, her sword exploded, and so did the idol with it. At least that's what we thought. However, that is certainly not the case. The idol was in Meredith's body the entire time. According to a Carter dwarf, a Dalish elf came to Kirkwall asking for help in retrieving this idol. He claimed that he learned of this in a dream, and that an old legend of his people said that the idol is in Meredith's body, and that if he gets it out, he can free his gods, or something like that. Before Kirkwall's Carter dwarves could silence this elf for good, he pulled out a potion and said that it would soften the raw lyrium so that they could retrieve the idol safely. Using the potion, the dwarves and the elf retrieved this idol from Meredith's chest. The Carter dwarves proceeded to kill the Dalish elf and then sold the idol to Tevinter, a contract by the name of House Kintara. Now, an agent of Fen'Harel impersonating the head of House Kintara traded the Red Lyrium Idol to House Daenerys for information. This was something that Solas would not have approved. However, that agent was later killed by the Qunari invasion on the city, and this was discovered in Dragon Age Deception. In the Dreadwolf TQ, we learn that a mage from House Daenerys made their way to Navarra's Grand Necropolis with the Red Lyrium Idol for an ultimate ritual to push the Qunari forces back north. Using blood magic, bound spirits, and the Red Lyrium Idol, the Mortalatasi and the Tevinter Mage attempted this ritual, and upon impact of the Red Lyrium Idol, a ritual blade was revealed. This ritual accidentally summoned the Dreadwolf's attention, as he straight up killed the Tevinter Mage and ordered his demons to attack the Grand Necropolis. A noble son grabbed the Red Lyrium Idol and fleeted it out into Tevinter. The ritual blade from the idol was either shattered or retracted. The final notion of the Mortalatasi story is that the Red Lyrium Idol is still in Tevinter, and I personally believe that Solas lied about the idol's whereabouts in his bad story. Therefore, I actually think Solas doesn't have the idol and he is still looking for it. That's one of the reasons he came to the meeting in the Dreadwolf TQ in the first place, to have a better understanding where the idol went, since he saw that Tevinter Mage using it in Navarra. That means that the Red Lyrium Idol is still somewhere in Tevinter with this noble son and yet to be discovered by Solas. That means perhaps the Inquisition or any other opposing force against Solas may already have this idol or be able to hold and keep it somewhere safely before Solas gets it. And that puts an end to everything that I discovered regarding Solas throughout Tevinter Nights. Thank you for sticking through this for so long, I really do appreciate it. In summary, Tevinter Nights has sparked so much for the future of the next Dragon Age game, and as you can tell, we have much more of an idea of where this plot is going next. I feel that the Dreadwolf TQ short story acts as a small prologue for Dragon Age 4, as it opens up the next narrative in so many ways as we have discussed throughout this video. Heck, the entirety of Tevinter Nights is just a great, gigantic cake for so many potential narratives of Dragon Age 4, with companions and story arcs and just inklings of ideas of what Solas is going to do next. As much as it sparks Dragon Age 4's future, it's also sparked me for creating content. Of course, I have just started my Tevinter Nights content and we've still got plenty more videos to go. So I just want to say thank you for tuning tuning in and sticking for this one for so long. Be sure to let me know down below if there's anything that I missed that relates to Solas in this novel. Of course, I have given it my best shot, but there may be a few things that I have missed or that you may want clarification on, and of course, we've got plenty of time to talk about those. But tell me your thoughts on Solas's plan going forward. Where do you think the Red Lyrium Idol is right now? Was Solas truthful about stealing it? Do you think that Solas does have the Red Lyrium Idol and that he is just planning out his next plan and is gonna just destroy the Veil straight away? Or do we have a chance? Was Solas lying about the Red Lyrium Idol's location? What do you think? Do you believe that everything Solas said in the Dreadwolf Take You was a lie? Let me know down below. But for all your things Dragon Age, the future that is going on for this most exciting franchise, you're already in the right place for all that sweet, sweet content. But until the next one, I have been Jackdaw, and I should go. Whoa.